Hey guys, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between chasing women versus initiating things with women. Okay? Because there's a difference. A lot of times guys will compare pursuing women versus chasing women, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be comparing today. What's the difference? We all know that you can't get women by just sitting back and doing nothing and waiting for women to come to you. If you're like one of those guys that just sits back and waits for women to come to them, you are going to be underperforming drastically. Okay? I know I've done that. I wasted years, thinking that like if I look good enough or if I'm cool enough, women will just come up to me and start things. It's like, yes, it happens once in a blue moon, but you really cannot choose the women that are interested in you. You really cannot pick the women that you want into your life. You have to wait around like a woman and for a woman to approach you. And that's essentially the woman's role. That's how women operate. They just sit back and wait for men to approach them. So if you want the best out of your life, you're going to have to pursue women. You're going to have to initiate things. This is completely different from chasing women. You hitting on women is not you chasing women. They're two separate things. Chasing women is what causes women to want to leave you, cheat on you, dump you, just get away from you. That's what happens when you chase women. And you already have a relationship formed and you start chasing her. And the more you chase, the higher the likelihood that she'll look for a better option than you, whether that leads to cheating, whether that leads to dumping you. Eventually, sooner or later, it will happen if you chase a woman long enough. And if you don't want women to leave you or cheat on you or anything like that, you just don't chase. And guess what? They don't leave you and they don't cheat on you. If you have the balls and the emotional control to resist the urge to chase women, you will never have to worry about a woman leaving you or cheating on you. Okay, but what about pursuing women? What's the difference? Okay, and pursuing women is what happens before you haven't even met. Okay, obviously we can't wait around and wait for women to pursue us, so we have to initiate things. Okay, we have to strike up a conversation, whether that's through a dating app, cold approach, night game, social circle, whatever it is. You're probably going to have to initiate things. And that is not chasing. That is just you getting the ball rolling. Now, keep in mind, as a man, you're going to have to lead the whole process, okay? You're going to have to set up the date, meet up on the date. You're going to have to lead things towards the bedroom eventually and consummate the relationship, okay? Physically. Yeah, you're going to have to initiate all the steps that are required for that to happen. Now, when do you go from pursuing to sitting back and waiting for the woman to chase you? Because guess what? Women are the most happy when they are chasing men, okay? And they are the least happy when the men are chasing them. This is undeniable. You cannot debate this, right? If you don't chase women, they won't leave you. And if you do chase women, they will leave you eventually. How do you go from that transition from you initiating everything to a woman where she's the one initiating everything, okay? Now, let me tell you, it's probably going to happen within the month. Within the month of you getting physical with her, intimate with her. Often it'll happen within the first week. Some women it'll take a little bit longer, but usually within the month, a woman is going to be contacting you if you're doing things right, wanting to hang out, wanting to come over, right? She wants to initiate things. And the only way you allow her to do that is if you sit back, okay? And she'll never initiate anything if you're constantly the one buzzing around her, calling her, texting her every day to hang out. So but when does that transition happen? A lot of the times after you get physical, you get intimate with a woman, was a good experience. It may take you a couple more times to initiate a meetup, okay? So yeah, you text her the next day saying like you had a great time. She'll text back saying like, yeah, it was great. Then you invite her out again sometime during the week, and you meet up again. And yeah, you build up a relationship. She wants to continue seeing you. You want to continue seeing her. But eventually, you're just going to sit back and wait. And sooner or later, this woman is going to be like, man, like, I really want to hang out with this guy. He's not texting me. He's not initiating anything with me. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to text him. I'm going to text him, see what he's up to. And that is your cue. That is the first step to getting her chasing you. Because as soon as she sends that text like, hey, like, what are you up to? What's up? That is your cue to be like, hey, like, just hanging out. Like, what are you up to tonight? And you ask her out again, and you basically reward her for her investment in chasing you, okay? She took the initiative. She picked up the phone. She's like, okay, I'm texting this guy. I really want to find out what he's doing. I really want to meet him. So she'll send the text like, hey, what's up? And then you take it from there. You said, yeah, like, we should hang out. Invite her over, invite her to do whatever you want to do. But then you follow up from there. And now she knows, okay, when I want to see this guy, I got to text him. I got to, like, okay, that worked out perfectly. That's worked out exactly how I wanted to. Like, I wanted to see this guy. I texted him and he made it happen. Okay. That's rewarding good behavior. Now she's going to be going for the next week. She's going to be like, okay, I really want to hang out with this guy. I really like him. So like, hey, like, we should hang out sometime. She'll be like, hey, what are you up to? And you reward her again for chasing you again, right? You set up a time and place to meet up. And that basically confirms the chasing dynamic. From then on to the end of time, that's always how it's going to work, right? When she's really hungry and she's like, man, I got to see this guy. I really want to see him. I'm going to go text him. And he's going to set something up. He's going to arrange a time. And this is how you create the chasing dynamic. So you never have to text her again, right? You never have to initiate things unless it's something that you really want to do. You're like, man, like, I really got this thing that I want to go with this girl. So I'll text her and see if she wants to go too, right? That's the only time you really have to text her. Eventually, she's going to be texting you every day, right? If you're doing things right, she's going to be like blowing up your phone, wanting to see what you're up to, want to like hang out, want to spend more and more time with you. And you know you've created this like chase dynamic. And you can hang out with her as much as you like and pull back as much as you like, depending on how much you want to see her. You can maintain this chase dynamic for years, for your entire relationship, for your entire life. You can maintain this chase dynamic where she wants to spend more and more time with you. She wants to spend more and more of your attention, more and more of your energy, more and more of your sex, because you've created this chase dynamic. And you start the chase dynamic. You start it off. You initiate everything. And within the couple weeks, you can basically take your hands off and you never have to initiate anything. And that's the way the woman likes it. And that's the easiest for you as well. These women will never leave you or cheat on you when they're chasing you and they're constantly hungry to hang out. They constantly want to find out what you're doing. They constantly want to spend more and more of your time, more and more of your sex, more and more of your energy, right? This creates that chase dynamic, so you never have to worry about her leaving you or cheating on you ever again. But in order for a relationship to happen, you are going to have to initiate things in the initial stages, right? After that, first date or that first hookup that happens, you may have to initiate things a couple more times. Especially for really shy girls, they'll be really hesitant to text you or to call you because they're like, man, like, I don't want to scare this guy off. I really like him, but like, I feel really bad like texting him. I don't want to like be too needy, so I'll just wait back and I won't text him. And yes, eventually you're gonna text her within like a week or so and like arrange a meetup. And if as long as she's super happy and she's like, yeah, like, great, yeah, you maintain that dynamic. Now you can talk to a woman like this women that are very, you know, shy, very reserved, you know, kind of think that they're beneath you, and they're scared of like texting you or initiating things because, you know, they're afraid of rejection, essentially. And these women, yes, you're gonna have to like baby them and kind of talk about it and be like, yeah, you know, you can text me when you want to hang out, right? And then she's like, oh, okay, I now have permission to text this guy when I want to see him. And that way you initiate that chase dynamic and reward her as soon as she starts taking the initiative. Okay? This is the difference between initiating things, getting the ball rolling, forming a relationship, and then never chasing women ever again. This is why guys say, like, never chase a woman. It's talking about a relationship. If you never chase women in a relationship with you, you won't have any problems. You can just sit back, and it's the easiest thing in the world, as long as you have the emotional control to resist that urge to chase, being like, man, I haven't seen this girl in such a long time. I'm so horny. I really want to see her. Like, I want to see her every day. Like, that's the neediness that leaks out and causes women to want to leave you or cheat on you and look for some guy that's, you know, higher quality than you, because that scarcity, that like, oh, I want to see you every day, I'm constantly thinking about you, that's the woman's role. That's where the woman should be, thinking about you all the time, thinking about like, when's the next time I can hang out with this guy. That's her role, and you can't put her in that role when you're in that role. Yeah, you're the one chasing her. She can never be the one chasing you. And when you're chasing women, it robs her of the opportunity of chasing you. And that's where man and woman is both happy. The man's happy just sitting back and getting laid. You know, his woman's really happy to see him. The woman can't stop thinking about him. She's crazy about him. They like that dynamic, and you have to have the emotional control to let that happen. You just sit back and, yeah, you relax and let her do the chasing, let her do the work, let her do the initiating. And then you reward her as soon as she makes that initiation. As soon as she starts something, yeah, you lead it to its conclusion, right? You, like, yeah, let's hang out. Anyways, guys, that's the difference between initiating things with women, you know, I guess you could call it pursuing women, versus chasing women. Chasing women is what turns women off and causes them to leave you once you're already in a relationship. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you need help doing this, whether that's forming casual relationships or serious relationships and never having to worry about women dumping you or leaving you for someone better, it all boils down to your behavior in the relationship and your ability to not chase women once you're in a relationship. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.